Hi guys, this is just a quick video regarding output 4 and output 7, the technical drawing aspect. Basically a one sheet technical drawing of an output 4. Obviously it's going to be the product that you chose from outputs 2 and 3, and obviously for your own concept or modification, your design concept or modification from output 7, right? So you've already been provided with a template, which is basically a title block. So what I'll do is you have to open it through SolidWorks. So I'll just go straight here to open. You can't just double click on the file and open it. And then on my desktop, I have my template file there, output 4 template, and click open. And there you can see it there. Now, so what the first thing we have to do here is set a few things, and that's going to edit sheet format. And now what you can do is you can edit these text boxes here. So for example, when you know your exam number, you just double click there and enter it. Here, the main scale. So for the moment, and I might actually make that a little bit bigger. I think that looks a bit better there. The main scale, so we'll decide what scale in a minute our drawings are going to be, and then the title is usually just something output 4 technical drawings. So if you want to change any of this stuff, you can. This little sketch picture here, you can just double click on it and drag it left and right if you want to. You have the De La Salle crest there, and the whole lot. Okay, so that's our title block. Now the next thing we need to do is, to get out of this, we have to hit this button up here at the top. And I want to do another thing here. I want to go down to properties now, so not edit sheet format. I want to go to properties, and we want to make sure it's set to first angle projection. Okay, and go to apply changes. Okay, so at the moment we are going with a 1:1 scale. So now I can take my object and I can start bringing in drawings. Okay, so essentially what we're going to do is plans, elevation, end view, an isometric, an exploded view, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so first things first, I will go to drawing. I'll go to standard tree model view. Now I'm going to browse for my assembly file here. I wouldn't browse for the where is it, output 3. I wouldn't browse for the master model. Let's use the assembly here. So alarm clock assembly, and click open. Just click OK there. And there, now what's after happening is it's after bringing it in an exploded view state. So what I can do here is go up here and just go turn that off there, show an exploded view state. Okay, and that's for all of them. Okay, like so. Now you can see there that the scale is too small, so if I just click on that view there, we can see that the scale it's actually 1:2. So I thought the sheet scale was 1:1, and I just want to double check something here. So if I go to sheet format, properties, you can see it's 1:2. So let's just change that to 1:1. Apply changes. That looks okay. Now these views can be dragged left and right. We can see this is the plan view, and this is because it's drawn on the right, so it was looking in from the left hand side. There's a few things I'd like to get rid of here, and that's these tangent edges that you can see. Now it might play a bit of havoc with the letters here, but let's just try and see what happens. So first things first, we right click on it there and we go to tangent edge, and we just have a look. Tangent edge removed, and unfortunately for some reason it's taken away the text here. So I'll go tangent edges. Let's go with this one here. We could use that one if we wanted, or what we could do, well, the first thing I want to do actually is show you that you can put your hidden detail visible. That's very important here, so you should see the inside stuff. So all the views there are gone to hidden detail visible. Let's go back to tangent edges for a second. Yeah, see, I'm not happy with that there. It's taken away the it's taken away the numbers there. So maybe what I'll do is instead of having it as you can have it as a shaded view if we want, like so. So I think now those of you that have your digital time on it, maybe tangent edges needs to be set to with font. Okay, so we might go with that there, which I'm not happy with entirely because there's these lines here that I don't like. anyway, let's just go with that for a second. The next thing I want to do is put in an auxiliary, not an auxiliary view, an isometric view. So we go to projected view, and I'm going to project from this view here. So I click on that view and I move my mouse down. So it's doing it from behind, which I don't want to see. Let's go, yeah, I say that'll be the isometric view that I want. I'll just land it there and we can relocate it afterwards. And I'm going to change the scale of this one now to custom scale. Let's go 1:2. And I think that might be fine there. Now we can mess around. It doesn't always have to be 1:, whatever. It could be 2:3, which is basically 66%, or 3:4, which is 75%. But I'm going to give this the isometric now. It's full color. I might take the edges off there. And I might actually change the scale now to, instead of 1:2, let's go 3:4. Have a look at that. And that's a better size there. Now, I want to bring in an exploded view now. So an exploded view, we go projected view again. And I'm going to do another isometric view. So for some reason it's connected to that last one. So I'll just select that view first, projected view. And I might do it from, that's the same angle. I might try a different angle to it there. Let's have a look at that. And if I click on it and go to show an exploded mode or state, whatever, we can bring that down into here. And we can change the scale to 3:4 as well. Okay, so we might have that there. Now I can always go back in. I'll just show you here now. If I go to my desktop output 3 and I go into my assembly file, I can actually go and mess around with the exploded view. You can see it there that it's an exploded view. So we can go in here and we can collapse it if we want. Right click, collapse. Or we can make it exploded. Now the steps there, I might bring these back up. So step 1 was to bring the legs down, okay? So I might just bring that up. Step 2 was that button there. I might bring that back in a little bit. Step 3 was the vertical alignment of the button, like that. So I might just bring them a little bit closer together, okay? Now if I just save that there, that should automatically update. Sorry. That should automatically update in my technical drawing. Let's just have a look. So it's just updating there. If I click this here, rebuild, it didn't do it too well. Don't think so. I'll just delete that. So I just clicked on the edge of it and pressed delete on the keyboard. I might try it again. Didn't fully come in right. I'll just go with that orientation for a second, and that one there, and show an exploded state, and you can see, yeah, that's more like it there. But if I didn't want that, let's go back to the other view that I had. Probably shouldn't have changed it. Projected view. Let's get this one here. Click on it, show an exploded view. Maybe that was it. And I'll just make it 3:4. Okay, so that's my exploded view. Another view that we should put in is I'm not 100% happy with that there, so I think I might just even come back in here. For the view that I have, I think this should be brought down a bit more. Maybe brought back in a little bit more, just for the view that I have. So I kind of have that view maybe. And I might bring the legs up a little bit more, like that, okay, and then I'll save it. So we can always go back and play around with all these things here. Okay, so it's updating here, yeah, and you can see it's a little bit more tidier. The next view I'll put in is a section view. Okay, here it is. Basically, think of it like a vertical or horizontal cutting plane, and I'm basically going to slice it down the middle here and look inside it. So section view. And this one here is that a vertical cutting line, so a vertical cutting plane, and I'm going to roughly just pick in the middle there, just pick a point there, and green tick that, and go auto hatching. Hatching is basically, as it's cutting through physical material, it creates a hatched effect, so as you can see there. So what I need to do now here is maybe do a little bit of moving around of the views. Even that one there, the isometric, I might even go back and just change that to just simply 1:2, make it a little bit smaller. Okay, if I want, because it's a little bit of just, you know, logistics here, trying to get everything to kind of fit in. We want to keep everything inside the title block, but as well think about the fact that we're going to have, and I'm going to take that out there altogether, we have to have dimensions on this in a minute as well, so we need to leave a little bit of room. So yeah, maybe I could put, you know, if I wanted, I could shift that over there. Just make sure it stays within inside the title block. I could shift that one up there, or just maybe leave it there. But what we should be doing here is putting notes on these. We should be labeling them. So if I go to, and you can see there's a note obviously here for this one here. This is your section view AA, and it tells you the name of it there, which is handy. I like to make the text bold. You can just highlight all of that there in one go. There we are, make it bold. And I want to put in another note, so I think I can just copy and paste that one. So Control, highlight section AA, Control C, Control V. Now we have another one there. So this can be my elevation. And we can place that here. Control C, Control V. This is my plan view. Sorry. Control V. This is my end elevation. Like so. Now this one down here is my isometric view, and it has got a slightly different scale to the main scale, so I actually need to go back in and was it 1:1? What did I use? I think it was 1:2, wasn't it, that I had? No, it was 1:1. Let me just double check that. Yeah, okay, yeah, it was 1:1. Okay, so we're 1:1 now. For some reason, when I hit the undo button there, it's not actually changing. There we are. Yeah, everything's updated. So this one here is 1:2. So I want to Control V. I want to put a note underneath that. So isometric view. Isometric view, and what I'll do is press enter bracket 1:2, because that's different to the sheet scale. So basically we're setting the scale of the sheet to be 1:1, but anything that changes from that we should make a note of it. Okay, now this one here, that is 3:4. So where did my, oh God, I don't know where that disappeared to there. No, it is there. Oh, that's weird. It is there, right? So in fact, I'm going to copy and paste, get rid of that. I'm going to copy and paste this one, and just be careful when you're trying to drag. So this will be my exploded view, 3:4. So exploded view, forgot about my capital letters. 3:4. Okay. Now, other views that you can put in would be a detail view, and a detail view is when you take a certain area and you zoom in on it. So, for example, what could I zoom in on here to give more detail to? Possibly the button, should we say? So I'll just go detail view, and I want to come down here, and I just want to enlarge this here. So I'll click roughly in the middle there, and it creates a little circle. So anything in that circle, it's going to enlarge, as you can see there. Now it's up to you where you place it. I'm going to place it there, and I'm going to make it like that, and that you can see there it's detail view, and it already puts a scale on it. I'll just make it bold. Okay, handy little tool there. I might do a little bit of a detail view on some of the mesh here. I'll just pick that area there, and I'll place that here as well. Detail view 2:1. If you want to make it bigger, you can obviously make it bigger over at the side. I'll just make that bold. Will I make it colored? Let's just have a look and see what it looks like with a bit of color on it. You can't even see it there. Not great. Not great. So what I'll do is I'm going to leave that as that there. Okay. So that's detail C. 2 is to 1. You have your exploded view. Now if you had a slanted surface, you could put in an auxiliary view. I don't have any slanted surfaces in that. That's the auxiliary view there. You could make some notes on it if you wanted to talk about stuff. Now what I might do here is I might bring in a part. You can actually bring in individual parts. So I'll go to drawing. I just want to check the time on my video here, see where we are. 15 minutes. Okay, that's not bad. So yeah, I might bring in a new thing here. So just model view. Now I'll do a model view of one of the parts. So let me see. Front casing, rear casing, lip and groove model. That's meant to be my master model there. Or maybe I'll just bring in the button. So I'll just land that there for the moment. And that's an elevation of the button. It's that little yellow curved button. And that should be the front view. Is there a way of setting that now? So that could be an elevation and a plan view of the button. So where could we put that? Well, I'm going to put that there. Okay, once again, we Control C, Control V. What's the scale of it there? That's 5 is to 1. That's quite big, so I'll just take that out there. Of course, I took the wrong one. So button elevation. Sorry, my spelling's off. Elevation, and that's 5 is to 1. Okay, and then label the other one. I should have made all that bold as well. The other, oh, it was bold. Control C. Oh, sure, look, it's grand. Zoom in there, so I might need to make a little bit of room here. Sorry, it's just a bit hectic here. Button elevation, that's meant to be there. And in fact, because this is an end elevation, I'll just copy and paste that one. Button end elevation, 5 is to 1. Okay. Now, I mean, if you wanted to get another end view in, if you wanted to get an underneath view, if you had detail of the underneath view, you can put that in as well. We do want to try and, you know, fill out everything. So, you know, I do want something to go in there. Maybe what I'll do for now is I'll start working on the measurements. Okay, so I'll go to annotation. Now notes are handy. We can put in, if you want to talk about something, I could put in a little note here at the bottom and just say scale is 1 is to 1 unless otherwise stated. Okay, but that's kind of inferred anyway with the title block, I suppose, because it said 1 is to 1 is the scale. Okay, and then there's other notes that you could put in as well if you wanted to talk about something. Now, let's go to smart dimension. So we want the 3 main dimensions. That is the width, height, and depth. So this one here, we choose these 2 points, that will be my width there. Now, you can see there that it's 110.7, so I'm not kind of happy with that. So on this side box here, you can see this is the dimension text that appears. So I'm going to replace that with just, and click yes here, don't show again. I'm going to replace that with 110. I'm just going to round it off, okay, cheating it a little bit, okay, that's fine. We can always re-drag that there. So that's the width of it. I'm going to do one for now, the overall height of it, from the very top to the very bottom. and that is 53.5. I might leave that as it is. Just the body on its own, if I want to take that point there to, I'll just try that again, smart dimension, to the body, which would be there, that's 50. Now we might need to just move some of the views. I probably won't put any measurements on that view there. I'm going to bring that over there just to create a bit of room for ourselves. We don't want to squash all the measurements in on top of each other. Yeah, so that's the height and the width. Let's see now the depth. The depth could be put in here in an end view. I didn't click the 2 points correctly. I'm going to do that again. I keep missing the points, so try get this. So I wouldn't choose this line, I would just choose this top point here. I'm after doing it again. It's very fine. There we go. And I'm going to round that up to just 80. Or I could maybe say 81, whatever. Okay. So there's 80. Try keep it in line with the other one. Now, in the plan view, we could put in some information to do with the legs, or we could even just put it in here if we wanted to put in the width of that there. Once again, that didn't work. And it's telling us it's diameter 10 because it recognizes it as a kind of a cylinder. This one here is 7 wide, and then instead of putting it in there, I might just bring it out to the side a wee bit like that. I could do the same over here, just if the arrows are too close together. I might even put in the height of the little rubber feet there. See, it's 1 millimeter, so I'll just land it there and then I'll drag afterwards. Drag that out. I suppose the thickness of the plastic would be a good thing to put in, so I might show that here from there to there, like so. Now in terms of the button, we could just get the overall width of it like that, 13.28. I'll just round that to 13 at the side. The overall height of it from top to bottom, difficult one to get. Now I'll just see, it's not really picking up the vertical height. Maybe I'll get the vertical height from here instead. There we are, round that off to 5. I did notice that there was a bit of curvature on that there, so I'll just go radius 9.5 now. Radius 10.5. Radius 9.5. Now, is there a better way of displaying that there? Try that one there maybe? Yeah, I prefer that one there. So that one, choose, where's it gone now? Leaders. There, I think that's a better one, it's neater. Okay. What else could we do? We could go in here to the detail view. We could put a little diameter on just one of them circles. If we wanted, we could put the distance between the center points, the horizontal distance there between them, and then the vertical distance between them. So just choose 2 of the circles there like that. 1.73, we'll just make that 1.75, I presume. Let's just land it first. So 1.75. I might just move that diameter 1 there. You know, and then there's maybe other things that you could put in there. Obviously there's a split here in the casing, so we'll put in that distance here from there to there, 11.35. Let's bring that to 11, and we might just go from the body to the very back. Now that's kind of interfering there with that button, so I might do it on this side instead. Of course that didn't do it. There we are, 69.10, so I'll just make that 69, etc. Okay, so that's more or less it. Now, you know, I would like to put something in here, so try find something to put in there, another view of some sort. Okay, there's these other things here, I don't really use these. An auxiliary view would be good if you had a slanted surface on it. I don't have a slanted surface. I could bring in another part maybe, so I'll go for standard tree view of one of the feet. Okay, so you can see it's just kind of mixed up there, so I might, obviously I'll be changing the scale of it there. You see the plan, elevation and end view. Because it's kind of circular all the way around, I probably don't need that view there. So I'll just take this one here, it's 10:1. Let's bring it to 5:1. That's a little bit better. And we want to make sure hidden detail is on it. So make sure you do that with all your views. Make sure hidden detail is on. Do I need it in this one here? Possibly not, but let's see. Oh, it is on already. This one here, what does it look like? Hidden detail, you know, it doesn't look too bad there either without the color. I might leave that out actually, the color. That looks fine. So yeah, coming back to this one. So we're going to put a note on it. So we'll just say rubber foot plan. And then underneath bracket 1 is to 5, or you can do the, doesn't have to be on the next line, you could just do it beside it like that. That is perfectly fine. Rubber foot elevation then, and I'll just put maybe a diameter. So, you know, the whole purpose of this thing is just to communicate as much of the object as possible. Elevation. They should be all capitals, but we won't fall out over it. That's weird. Rubber foot plan. Okay, a couple of measurements back to annotation. Yeah, we put a diameter on that there, diameter 7, even that one there, diameter 6. What do we want here? We want the overall height of the button to be 2. And that came out arseways, so I will delete that and go again. You can get the whole button there. Right, that's just, I'll get the whole button first. And if you want to do the little part there, the little fillet, you can. Right, so yeah, I probably would try and put something else in there. Not necessarily, maybe I don't even need that note there, but if you want to put some notes in talking about it, for whatever reason, you can. Now, let's say that's finished. So what we're going to do now is go File, Save As, and we want to save this not as a drawing template file. We want to make sure we save it, so it should, by default, it should be a template file, but we want to save it as a SolidWorks drawing. I'm going to call it output 4. Maybe technical drawings, and I'm going to save it in here. Now we'll be renaming our folders later on, okay? So output 4 technical drawing. In fact, I'll overwrite this one here. Now if you do any changes to any of the parts or the assembly, it's going to be reflected in here, so we don't want to start messing around with making changes, etc. Okay. Another thing I will do here as well, I'm going to save it as a PDF. So save as. This makes it handy for me to print it for you. So we'll just call it output 4. So save. So in that folder, I'm going to have a PDF. And what I might also do as well for the portfolio, does it save it as a JPEG? We need to put an image of it in to the JPEG drawing. JPEG. We'll try this and see what it looks like. So in the same folder again. So output 4 technical drawing. We'll see what the JPEG looks like. I've never seen this thing here before, but we'll see. So there's my output 4 technical drawing. There's the template. You don't need the template anymore. Okay, so I'll just open the PDF, and you can see it has a nice white background on it. Now we could take a screenshot of that and put it into our portfolio, but I want to see what this this JPEG has to offer here. See if it's worth it. It takes a while to do, it seems. Here we go. Output 4. That's grand. So I can right click on that and go copy. And let's imagine I go into my portfolio, right click, paste. Now this slide is not set to A3, so paste the picture. So it's a bit slow here for some reason. X out of that. I don't know why it's so slow. I reckon it's going to be high, take up a lot of. Yeah, it's like 12 megabytes for that there. So what I think you might be better doing is if you just go into the PDF, go view, full screen mode, and do a screenshot of it. So that is holding the Windows key, Shift and S, and just barely outside the title block, just drag it like that. It's a much lower, doesn't take up as much space. There it is there, Control V. And then you can stretch it to match. So design, I'll put the slide size to be A3. Right, and then we can just drag it up the top left corner and drag it down there. So slide size is actually not, so width is 42, height is 29.7. I should have remembered that. Sure fit. Let's try that again. And it's almost a perfect fit there, so I might just stretch that down. No one's going to know the difference. Okay, and that's that in your portfolio. Okay, so you do this for output 4 and you also do the same for output 7. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. How long have we done on this video here? We have done 30 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to stop it there, and if you have any questions you can always email me. Thanks guys.